Hi, I'm Michael Lewis Anderson and I'm going to show you a very simple way of how to cover a cake with sugar paste, my way. We're going to cover now a cake with royal icing. Well, it's not a cake, it's polystyrene, as you all know. And I'm going to show you the consistency of the royal icing. Royal icing is just icing sugar and egg white. To cover the cake, you would put some glycerine inside this. You can find in any pharmacy. It's just a liquid sugar. It will keep the icing soft to be able to cut it, but it will still harden and go firm. The icing here at the moment, there's no glycerine inside, but I'll just show you how to cover a cake very quickly. I'll actually show you first of all how to cover the cake, how my mum taught me. Now the cake has to have the royal icing has to have a point, and this is just soft royal icing, egg white, icing sugar, and you can put a little bit of lemon inside, a little bit of vinegar if you want. Okay, there was a time when we used to add a little bit of blue colouring to give that extra white, but at the moment now we don't do it. So I'll just tap this on. Okay, I'm very hands-on. I'm not going to take a palette knife or anything. My hands are clean. This is how I do it. Into the icing like this and onto the cake. This is just going around the cake, the back of the cake or the front of the cake. Very easy. Now, royal icing is one of those things it was the luxury to be able to have the most beautiful cakes covered with royal icing. The reason it's called royal icing is because it was after the Queen Victoria that started. A wedding cake was with the most beautiful white coating of this superb stuff. So this is how I put it on. My mother used to make that. That was our Christmas cake. That was absolutely fantastic. I was mesmerized with it and I thought it was absolutely wonderful to see that. And then I remember she got a fork and then she used to do the snow scenes. You know, if you have a Christmas cake, that's how simple it is. It's easy. And isn't that wonderful? It's classical and it's beautiful. So that brings back so many memories to me. And then we'll stick a little plastic Father Christmas on it, and a Christmas tree, and a little red robin, and then we'll find something else, and then we'll stick something else on it, you know. And it used to be completely covered in the end. But as you know, less is more, so they say, always say more or less, which I prefer. And then we used to try to be the first one to actually suck them, you know, to keep them clean. Now, what I'm going to do, that you'll do anyway if you're going to cover a cake. This is actually from when I did my studies in pastry school, in cake decorating school in England, bakery and professional school. Let me clean my hands a little bit first, just on this cloth. Now, who doesn't make a cake in a blue jacket? How many people would do that? So here we are. Wet it a little bit. So this should stay still on the board. So you have to go across the top with this. The royal icing, if you want it in any colour, you would colour it before. You can colour it with any colour. You can colour it with liquid colours, or gel colours, or powder colours. Roxy and Rich colours are absolutely fantastic with it. They say when you can royalise, you can actually plaster any wall in the house. I myself have never done any plastering. So, as you see, this is up a little bit. So I bring it down all the way around, cleaning it off. As you see, I'm not using a turntable. I'm one for doing things that if you don't have any equipment, everything's still possible to do. You know, there's some fantastic turntables on the market, but myself, I don't even have one. So you got your perfectly flat top. I've got a little bit too much there on the back. I'm just going to take a metal scraper. So I'm going to have to get up here, I think. And like I don't have a turntable, so I'm going to come around here. I'm going to start from here at the back. This is like torture, you know. And then I'm just going to work it. I'm going to actually hold this in the middle, okay? But this you can rectify afterwards. I'm going to work this all the way around very quickly like that, and that's your cake covered. Okay, I will do it again because here is a little bit rough on the front. Okay, again I will go all the way around, and that's completely covered. You will let that dry on a board. Let it dry. There's a little bit too many air bubbles inside here, but let that dry, and you give it a second coat with the royal icing, which is let down a little bit more, and it will fill in those cracks and those little holes. With the advantage of royal icing, any rough part, you can sandpaper it. Yes, sandpaper, and you get that most beautiful finish. Also, the advantage with royal icing towards sugar paste, it's much nicer to eat, better to taste, and very crunchy. Fantastic. So go ahead.